YouTube, what it do, man? It's your guy CJ, back with another video, back with another episode of the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for rocking and tuning in to your boy, man. I really appreciate it. This episode, man, I really want to talk about the whole Chris Brown summer that's going on right now, man. I'm seeing a lot of guys on social media post these think pieces and post these video responses and audio responses to these women going to these Chris Brown shows and paying $1,000 for the pictures and disrespecting their marriages and their relationships, man, to go to a Chris Brown concert. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of becoming a reoccurring thing in the world, because I remember last year, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think last year it was everybody going to Usher. Usher, the R&B singer, Usher was on a rampage last year, dancing with niggas' girls and, showing out, you know what I'm saying? Guys were in their feelings and, girls were, women gonna always be cheering it on and stuff, the sisterhood gonna always rock with that, you know what I mean? But back to the Chris Brown thing, man, I don't understand why so many guys are, confused, or I don't understand why guys are so kind of upset about women, for the most part, simply being women, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm truly indifferent to it, because it's the nature of the beast that we're dealing with, man. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. You know what I'm saying? If you took, I was telling my homeboy this the other day, man, if you took 1,000 men in America, not just America, let's broaden it out. If you took 1,000 men across the world at random, right, who were married or in a relationship, or had a woman that they held up in the air, all right, this is my woman, this is who I'm with, whoop-de-whoop. If you took 1,000 men, right, 995 of their women are going to, if they had the opportunity, if the chance presented itself, they would be left. They would be left by their woman if she had an opportunity at Chris Brown, or a guy like that, or a guy who's upper echelon, or someone who they perceive to be, you know what I mean, next level. You know what I'm saying? And when I say the average woman would leave her man for an opportunity at Chris Brown, I'm not even talking about for the chance to I'm not even talking about for a commitment, or for marriage, or you know what I mean? I'm talking when I say the average woman would leave her man for opportunity at Chris Brown, I'm talking she'll leave you for the opportunity of be a meet and greet, the opportunity of be a hug, the opportunity of be get called on stage and get grinded on, the opportunity of get called backstage and kick it with the homies and get passed around like COVID and tossed out the trailer at 4 o'clock with a sticky forehead. I'm talking like that. The average woman out here, man, the average woman, right? I'm not talking all, right? Because if you watch my content, you watch my videos, you understand that with me, the only 2 things in life that are absolute are death and taxes. You're always going to be in some form of debt or pay taxes, and we're all going to die. Everything else is nuance to it, but I'll say on average, man, if you take 1,000 dudes, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, man, you know what I'm saying? Socioeconomic class don't care about. If they have the opportunity to meet a Chris Brown, man, let me tell you something, bro. You don't stand a prayer. You don't stand a prayer at all of your woman saying, you know what, man, I'm a Chris Brown fan, but I respect my man and my marriage or my relationship, and I'm cool. I ain't gonna rock with it. Very few, very few. I say you may get 5 out of 1,000 women that'll say, you know what, I'm a hold it down for my man. I got a good guy, I got a good man. Woo to woo. I respect myself, you know what I'm saying? But the average woman, bro, and you gotta understand like the psychology too, man. Like women are really wired and bred to like really from the standpoint of like, like if you go back to like uh if you go back to the early days, man, like like when we were like hunters and gatherers, right? Women were like just always wired and born to seek the alpha predator, the apex predator, like the guy who could hunt and gather the most resources, right? So in today's time, they perceive the apex male as the entertainers, the athletes. You know what I'm saying? The guys who are flashy and flaunt the money because they perceive those guys to be the guys who are the cream of the crop. And in a lot of instances, it's kind of hard to argue against that, but you got to understand, like the average woman, bro, she looks at her guy as kind of like, I can find three of you on the cereal aisle at Walmart right now. Any city across the great USA, she believes in her head she can find, even if that's not true, because we're all unique and we're different, right? But she may believe in her mind she can find three guys like you going to the mall on a Wednesday afternoon. But in her mind, she's not gonna have the another opportunity, or there's not a Chris Brown just walking around every day that she has access to. So if she has the opportunity to get with a Chris Brown or to share any of his time or to even be like in his presence, she will most definitely throw you under the bus for that opportunity, right? And I don't think that's a thing you guys should be so emotionally distraught over. I don't think that's something that you guys should really be so uptight about. You know what I mean? These guys are writing like novels online and going into these deep YouTube panel discussions about man, this is why guys are getting the passports and Chris Brown. Man, look, bro, women are wired and designed. Most women, bro, the average woman, man, they can have a decent dude, bro, a good dude, man. But if they have the opportunity to get a Chris Brown, man, they gonna go, bro. They gonna go, man. And I don't think that's something that y'all should look at really with vitriol or anything like that. Just try to look at it with understanding and just get. That's how the game go. That's how the game go, bro. It's not nothing to really be mad about or to be like, these women ain't this, these women ain't that. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's funny, man. It's really funny. Like when you watch these videos, it was the girl that she ended her engagement, to go to a Chris Brown concert, man. And you gotta understand, bro, like the true nature of the female, bro, is something you just have to understand. You know what I mean? It's something you have to comprehend. And that's why I always try to tell guys also to like try to be a man of value. Try to be a man who got things going on in life, right? Because a lot of times, a lot of guys, man, they'll put their whole existence and their whole being into a woman. They'll put their whole idea of identity into the chasing and the pursuing. And they try to build these bubbles around these women, man. And let me tell you, bro, you have to have you got to have a confidence to you to where you can view it to where it's not the end of you if a woman does what she does. Like a lot of guys are like, you know what I'm saying, like trying to paint this as an anomaly, and I hate to break it to you, man. It's not an anomaly. This has been going on for centuries. Women become groupies when they're in the presence of a man who they perceive as having power and access and attractiveness. And if a guy is considered universally attractive or successful, you have a rare woman who's gonna be able to turn down that for you. You know what I'm saying? And you could be an incredible guy. Again, you could be a great guy. It's not about that. It's about the opportunity. They call it hypergamy in the red pill community. Like, she always in her mind has a desire to do better. And when I say do better, I mean like she has a desire to to attract better, to mate, to mate with better, right? If y'all get what I'm saying. So it's like if she got opportunity to get on stage with Chris Brown or Usher, or worse, go backstage with Usher or Chris Brown, the average woman, bro, is going to go. The thing I want you to get from this video, forget all of that. The main thing I want you to really gain from this video is be a man of purpose, be a man of virtue, be a man of understanding, be a man of always consistently improving and getting better. Because you're only the guys who I see who are like shocked by this, or guys who don't know about, oh man, my girl wouldn't do that. No, bro, your girl would probably like voluntarily go backstage and get on a bus with those guys. But there's a sense of value that you have and to be able to create, to where if that does happen to you, or when that happens to you, right, you have such an abundance mindset that it's not the end of the world. Like, it's just okay, well, it is what it is, and you move on. And I always try to tell you guys too, man, to operate, deal with the world. Like, I have videos about how to deal with women from this standpoint, but deal with the world and operate always from a position of power. Because when you operate from a position of power, it's not to say things don't affect you or things don't harm you, but when you operate from a position of power, the sting of lifing, so to speak, really doesn't paralyze you. It may hurt for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but it will sting, but it won't have you to where you're incapacitated and you're not able to go forward and move and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So try to keep things in your life to where you're able to always increase where you are, and you're always able to do more and achieve more, and have a higher image and a higher like viewpoint of who you are. You know what I mean? And you do that by being productive. You do that by being a go-getter. You do that by being knowing how to rub like shoulders in the right environments and rooms and the right circles. So just become a man of value and just operate from a position of power. So if you have a woman who wants to go to a Chris Brown show, or wants to go and pay $1,000 or $2,000 for like a meet and greet with another guy to hug up on and grope and all that, you operate from a standpoint to where you understand at that point she has relegated herself to being disposable and she can be replaced. You don't have to go on Facebook crying it's not coming out your nose, or writing a stand letter, or writing, doing these deep think pieces about something that 95% of women are going to do, whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not. But anyway, man, let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. This whole scenario. Shout out to Chris Brown too, by the way, man. Big fan, bro. I think he is like one of the most talented, most skilled artists. You know what I'm saying? Irregardless of like what he's done personally, I think he's a great artist. But brother, you got a lot of these guys who sit down and urinate feeling some kind of way about these photo ops and all that stuff, man. But be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Let me know like how y'all feel about it, and I'm out. Peace.